Long ago, after light brought the world into being, 12 guardians were chosen to watch over humanity. Each one carried the strength of a different animal, and with these gifts, they kept people safe.
열두 동물의 능력을 지닌 열두 전사들을 지상에 내려보냈고
As light's creation thrived, the realm of darkness began to fade. In desperation, darkness unleashed spirits meant to ruin the balance. The 12 guardians stood together in one final struggle, giving up everything to protect the human world. Their victory came at a cost. The spirits were trapped in the hellmouth, but the guardians themselves lost their divine abilities and were left to live on as ordinary humans.
누가 면회로 간지 얘기를 해줘야 될 거 아니야.
In the present day, the story shifts to Tai-san, once the leader of the 12, now living as the head of Angel Capital Group. Unlike ordinary lenders, his company deals only with criminals and outcasts.
열심히 해가지고 이자까지 다 갚을게.
One of his current concerns is Joe Yang-soo, a prisoner who owes him money. Yang-soo mocks Tai-san, saying he will pay only after he is free and refuses to hand over his properties. Tai-san makes it clear he should not be underestimated before leaving. Later, he instructs his associate, Guidol, to arrange Yang-soo's bail.
6년 동안 이 일하면서 돈을 한 번도 못 받은 적이.
Meanwhile, back at the firm, Mal-suk, Won-sung, and Kang-ji begin chasing another lead that Guidol has passed along.
미리 출발하래.
오케이.
오케이, 가자.
Elsewhere, Bang-wol and Doni run an oriental clinic. Doni puts effort into drawing in patients, but Bang-wol's harsh manner often drives them away. No matter how much he tries to promote the place, her approach unsettles clients.
치료 받고 가세요.
Elsewhere, Detective Ma-rock reaches out to Tai-san, asking for a loan. Instead of using it for himself, he buys clothes for Mir, a woman with a shared past with Tai-san. A decade earlier, she walked away from him and built a quiet life as a museum teacher, guiding children through the legends of the 12 guardians. When Ma-rock tries to offer her the clothes, she turns him away, fully aware of where the money came from.
일하는 데까지 오셔서 이러지 말라고 여러 번 말씀드렸잖아요.
Ma-rock quietly worries that Mir is pulling away from everyone because of a troubling dream she once had. She never explains what it was about, choosing instead to carry the burden alone.
쟤는 꿈에서 대체 뭘 받길래 나한테까지 숨기는 거야.
That evening, Joe Yang-soo celebrates his freedom with his crew and girlfriend. The mood shifts when Tai-san calls, saying he is on the way. Yang-soo quickly instructs his men to take Tai-san out. But when Tai-san arrives, the fight ends almost instantly in his favor. He takes down Yang-soo's men with ease, forcing Yang-soo to back down and settle his debts on the spot.
시계. 예, 시.
Across the city, Mal-suk, Won-sung, and Kang-ji are working a gambling den case. The boss attempts to run, but Doni joins in, and the four overpower the entire gang. Before long, the money is collected, and the job is done.
여긴 상황 종료. 오케이.
With Yang-soo's payment secured, Tai-san visits Gyum-soon, a longtime friend. Their history goes back to her childhood, when Tai-san defended her family from cruel debt collectors. She now runs a tteokbokki stall, following her mother's footsteps. Though she has grown, Tai-san still treats her as if she were the young girl he once protected.
아저씨 가족까지 잃어가면서 희생했으니.
During their talk, Gyum-soon shows empathy for his sacrifices and the grief of losing his family. She reminds him that many people are thankful, even if he rarely hears it, and urges him not to lose hope. Tai-san offers her money, but she refuses.
그리고 지금은 악마들이 판치는 세상도 아니야.
An elderly man then steps in, upset that Tai-san addresses Gyum-soon informally. Tai-san recognizes him as Man-book, who is shocked to see Tai-san unchanged by time. The reunion ends in a warm embrace.
아이고 만복이 맞네. 아이고 우리.
Meanwhile, at the station, Ma-rock eats dinner while watching a news report. Archaeologists have found a cache of Paleolithic relics at a construction site scheduled for study at the NRIC. But something about the objects baffles scientists. Their instruments show abnormal energy readings instead of normal patterns.
수치가 너무 튀는 것 같습니다.
The story shifts again to a desolate place, where a small group carries out a ritual. A man cuts his hand and presses it to a stone. The blood vanishes into the surface, and the group announces to their leader that they have located Ogui. Tai-san walks back into the company building and finds it empty. Inside his office, he opens the safe and carefully lays out bundles of cash. For a brief moment, the sight brings him comfort, but the feeling fades and sadness takes over. Elsewhere, the dark spirits continue their desperate work. Their leader attempts a ritual, but cannot complete it. The others plead with him to stop before he destroys himself, but he refuses, saying time is slipping away. With fierce determination, he drives a knife through his hand and presses it against the stone. His blood seeps into the surface, stirring something long imprisoned. burst of green light breaks through as the ground trembles. From the stone steps, a figure with glowing red eyes. He slowly unfurls his massive wings, filling the scene with their full, terrifying power. Tai-san sits alone with a drink, replaying Gumsun's words in his mind. His thoughts drift back to the Yoshin era when life was still bright. He and Mir once strolled happily through the market, only to witness thugs shaking down poor vendors for money. Tai-san told Mir to let him handle it, but she stepped in anyway, using her powers. With a sweep of her hand, she unleashed a strong wind that sent the men flying. The villagers saw everything. That night, vendors arrived at Tai-san's home, pretending to thank his family for their help. Instead, they drugged them and tried to kill Mir, believing her to be a monster who wanted to control them. Tai-san woke just in time to save her. From then on, his faith in humanity withered. He warned his family to keep their distance from people. Back in the present, the demons gather around Ogui, newly awakened. The high priest of darkness greets him, claiming they have searched for him for 1,000 years. Suspicious, Ogui grabs him by the collar, demanding proof. The priest admits his powers are gone, that he risked everything to free Ogui, and that only the demon can defeat Tai-san and Marok.
오랜만에 반가운 소식이네.
Meanwhile, near the Han River, Malsuk, Doni, and Kanji prepare for their morning run. Doni lingers with a bowl of ramyun and ends up bickering with a dog, revealing he can hear animals' thoughts. The commotion nearly exposes them, but Malsuk and Kanji pull him away, reminding him that their kind must avoid humans.
난리도 아니다. 라면 먹는다며.
Elsewhere, Ogui wanders through the city, observing the new world. He nearly crosses paths with Mur. Though she senses something strange, she brushes it off and continues on, unaware he is watching from behind. That evening, most of the angels gather for dinner without Tai-san, Mir, or Marok. They celebrate Bangwol's birthday with playful teasing, sharing old photos and laughter. Later, Mur heads into a bar for a quiet drink. A vision comes to her. She walks into a cave and finds a man dressed in black, his face warped with demonic features. Snapping back to reality, she sips her glass, only to be interrupted by two men who won't leave her alone. When they push too far, she knocks them out cold, pays her tab, and walks away. On a rooftop, Ogi meets with the high priest, Saman. Saman repeats the story of how he lost his powers while angels and humans thrived. Now he wants to unleash chaos by using Ogui's strength. He explains that the angels are powerless, and with Ogui's help, his plan can finally take shape. He asks Ogui to track down 3 soul stones that Heide once hid during the final battle. Because Ogui can still sense Hades' energy, he is the only one capable of finding them. Once the stones are gathered, their energy can be absorbed into the Dragon Soul, restoring Hades' full strength. The Dragon Soul is the source that governs power for both angels and demons. Saman tempts Ogui with a promise. If he helps, he will inherit Hades' abilities, while Saman gains immortality. Ogui, however, is not fooled. He warns Saman that if he tries to betray him, he will kill him without hesitation. The next day, the younger angels gather over fried chicken, laughing and relaxing. Still, a few express concern that Tai-san is pushing himself too hard.
근데 오늘만 해도 수익 장난 아니겠는데.
그럼 뭐해? 쓰지도 않고 쌓아놓기만 하는데.
Meanwhile, Malsuk fumes over being left out when Tai-san went to handle the debt collectors known as the car masters. Tai-san succeeds in collecting the money, but afterward he realizes he is out of his depression medication. He quickly arranges a doctor's appointment to get a refill. At the clinic, Tai-san tells his doctor the medication isn't helping. He slips the man a bribe to secure a 2-month supply, then dozes off in the waiting room while the prescription is prepared. Elsewhere, Saman warns the other demons not to provoke Ogui until he recovers the 3 soul stones. A ritual begins, and several demons step through a wall of fire. Saman remains behind to complete the rite, but the moment they cross over, the angels' necklaces begin to glow. The young angels quickly connect with one another. Wonsung, Malsuk, Kanji, Doni, and Guidol gather while Marok promises to join them. Mir, caught up with her work, misses the signal entirely. Wonsung tries calling Tai-san, but he is asleep at his therapist's office and doesn't answer. The group debates whether to investigate, knowing that if the warning is real, they stand little chance against demons now that their powers are gone. Still, they decide to move.
진짜 큰일인 게 우리 일반 사람이랑 다를 바 없는데 무슨 수로 악기랑 싸워?
The trail leads to Mir's office building. She is ambushed on her way out, and though she tries to defend herself, she is quickly overwhelmed. The others arrive but fare no better, each knocked down with ease. Watching from afar, Samin observes their struggle through the visions in his ritual bowl. Back at the company, Tai-san wakes and finds the building empty. In his office, he notices the glow of his necklace. Bang-wol also shows him hers, both shining as a sign of trouble. At the same time, Marok reaches the fight and sees the younger angels being beaten badly. High above, Ogui stands on a rooftop, his eyes burning a dangerous red. Malrock arrives just in time to join the fight, while Tai-san and Bang-wol remain at headquarters, uneasy about the strange glow of their necklaces. At Mir's office parking lot, the angels are on the brink of defeat as the demons overwhelm them. Malrock steps in, wielding his sword stick to freeze the attackers and buy the others a chance to retreat. As the angels struggle back to their feet, Ogui and Samin watch the chaos unfold from afar. But the reprieve doesn't last. One demon breaks free from the ice and clamps his hands around Malrock's throat. The rest follow, pressing the assault. Dooney rushes in with a bike helmet, knocking the demon away and freeing Malrock. Once again, Malrock attempts to freeze them, but this time the demons begin dissolving into mist. Before the last one vanishes, he channels his power to sense the presence behind the attack and is stunned to recognize Samin. He quickly hides his reaction and orders the angels to fall back. Wan Sung lingers, feeling the echo of a familiar spirit, but Malrock firmly sends him home. At the Tai-san building, Tai-san tries reaching the others by phone. Eventually, they stumble in, battered and bruised. Bang-wol tends to their wounds, while Malrock pulls Tai-san aside for a private talk. The rest amuse themselves at the clinic, but their antics nearly cost Guidol his life when he accidentally eats the wrong herbs. When Tai-san and Malrock return, Ganji asks if they've located the demons. Tai-san brushes her off, telling her to stay out of it. Frustrated, she presses about the sealed hellmouth and the loss of their powers, but Tai-san cuts her short again. This time, Ganji snaps back, insisting that protecting humans is their responsibility. Tai-san pushes back, saying their sacrifices have only brought suffering. He refuses to watch his people die for a race that doesn't appreciate them. Ganji reminds him they all share the same losses, but abandoning their duty is not the answer. Tai-san won't budge.
아무도 잃고 싶지 않다.
Later that night, Malrock meets Wan Sung for drinks. He tells him that Tai-san is too reserved to ask for help, but with leadership falling to him next, it's his responsibility to step forward. Convinced, Wan Sung agrees to search for the demons.
자기 대장으로 생각하고 있는 거야, 쟤.
Tai-san unlocks a hidden compartment in his safe and finds himself lost in memories of the past, especially the moment he lost 4 of his fellow angels in battle. His reflection is cut short when Malrock arrives with grim news. Samin is alive and orchestrated the recent demon attack. He pleads with Tai-san to rethink his position and help humanity once more.
인간들 세상을 도우기 위해서야. 난 그거 다 부질없어.
Tai-san refuses. He insists that the angels have no powers left and that God has abandoned them. He won't risk losing what remains of his family for people who never repaid their sacrifices. As Malrock leaves, he spots Mir returning to the others and feels some relief. Meanwhile, Ganji seethes at Tai-san's indifference. More than any of them, she still believes in protecting humans and honoring their role as guardians.
그게 우리가 존재하는 이유잖아요.
Tai-san later visits Gyum-soon and Manbuk. He offers them money to buy the Teobaki stand and even hands over tickets, urging them to leave the country for safety.
잠시 나갔다 와.
Elsewhere, Wan Sung begins his own search for the demons. He tricks Guidol into giving him a tracking device, but his efforts turn up little. Frustrated, he calls Malrock, who urges him to keep pushing forward. Malrock insists the responsibility lies with him.
야, 이거 제대로 작동하는 거 맞아?
Back at work, Malrock is summoned to investigate a relic that has gone missing from the museum.
이것만 들고 왔습니다.
At the Tyson building, Gum-soon and Manbuk meet with Tai-san and turn down his offer to buy them out. Gum-soon assures him she still trusts in him, just as her mother once did. To her, Tai-san is still the protector they need.
우리 엄마가 여기를 어떻게 지켰는지 누구보다 아저씨가 잘 알잖아요.
Meanwhile, Mir, Ganji, Guidal, and Malsuk spend time at an orphanage with the children. But Mir is shaken when she experiences a vision of the angels dying in another battle.
미르야. 뭐해?
Elsewhere, Ogui thinks back to Saman's words about the soul stones. In his hands, he clutches a stolen relic, likely one of the stones. As he grips it tightly, a red glow flares from his chest.
내가 똑똑히 봤어. 태산과 전사들이 혜태를 죽인 날.
In a flashback, we see a young Hayate trailing behind Taisan and Malrock. Malrock explains that Hayate was born with the combined powers of all 12 angels, making him unlike any other. It doesn't take long for Taisan to accept him. Together, they fought alongside the angels, defending humanity from the threat of demons. Back in the present, Bangwol sharpens her archery skills while Wansung pretends he's been busy with work. Later, the angels gather for dinner and welcome Mir back warmly. They receive their monthly bonus but choose to hand half of it to Ganji, who always insists on donating to humans. Between bites, they tease Wansung, joking that he still can't measure up to Taisan.
머리가 안 좋다고?
돌대가리인가 봐 너.
Meanwhile, Malrock finds Taisan drunk and slumped in his office. Taisan, shaken from another nightmare of the fallen angels, wakes with a start. Malrock uses the moment to update him on the return of Saman, the awakening of Ogui, and the missing soul stone. He warns Taisan that Ogui must be kept away from Mir and mentions that Wansung has been trying to track Saman. Taisan finally agrees to share the truth with the others, but insists the exact location of the demons remain a secret between him and Malrock.
내가 그때 이놈을 죽였어야 되는데.
Elsewhere, Ogui confronts Saman with the first soul stone in hand. This sparks another flashback, taking us to the day of the great battle. As chaos raged, Saman, gravely wounded, watched Taisan strike down Heitai. Before collapsing, he witnessed Heitai hide the 3 soul stones. Ogui tracks the energy of the second soul stone and dispatches the evil spirits to recover it. At the same time, Wansung begins to sense Samin's whereabouts.
뭐지?
Back at the Tyson building, Mir trains intensely with Malsuk. Unlike the others, she still retains her powers, though she cannot explain why. After their workout, they share snacks, and Malsuk carefully tries to ask about Mir's visions and why she disappeared before. Mir brushes off the questions, denying she ever saw anything and refusing to explain her absence.
그동안 네가 우리를 떠났었던 이유도 꿈속에서 뭔가 봤기 때문에 그런 거 아니야?
Malsuk lets it go, though she feels guilty for pressing. Mir, however, remains unsettled by the vision of the angels dying. Her fear grows because none of the others have powers anymore, and even Malrock's weakened abilities take a toll on his frail body. At the clinic, Bangwol gives Doni a rare supplement designed to boost his strength in case of another demon attack. Malrock drops in briefly, mentioning he is quitting the force, and promises to explain more that evening.
이따 저녁에 얘기해.
Later, Taisun calls Mir aside. Without revealing Ogui's return, he subtly asks if she has met anyone unusual. He warns her that she was the demon's target and insists she remain inside the building. Mir is soon gripped by another vision of the faceless demon in the cave. Back at the dinner table, Malrock finally tells the others about Ogui and Saman.
사람하고 알아볼 테니까 당분간 너는 집 밖에 나가지 마.
As night falls, Wansheng follows the trail of energy and reaches the demon's location, only to be blocked by a powerful dark barrier. Meanwhile, Taisun remembers Mir once pleading with him not to harm Ogui. Even then, he wanted revenge for the loss of their family. In that flashback, Ogui accused Taisun of destroying his life. Now in the present, Taisun worries deeply about protecting both his angelic family and Gumsun.
아직도 고통스러워. 너무 아파.
제발 미르도.
Wansung and Malrock meet with Taisun to share what they've learned about the demons. Elsewhere, Samin plots with Ogui, ordering him to take the final soul stone from Mir. He assures Ogui that Taisun will not be a problem. He knows the tiger's weakness.
태산에게도 약점은 있어.
The next morning, the other angels discover that Malrock and Taisun have already left. The two have gone to investigate the site where Wansung last saw the demons. Wansung keeps quiet, pretending not to know the truth. While scouting the area, Taisun promises Malrock he will protect him no matter what happens.
내 뒤에 꼭 붙어 있어요. 영감 죽으면 안 돼.
Meanwhile, Saman sets his plan in motion. He sends demons after Gumsun and Monbach, hoping to draw the angels away and leave Mir unguarded. The trap works, the angels' necklaces light up, and they rush to Gumsun's side. Malruk and Taisan arrive first, finding Manbok on the ground while Gumsoon flees into a train station restroom for safety. By the time Taisan reaches her, she is badly injured, bleeding heavily from her arm. Taisan fights through the demons while Malruk helps Gumsoon escape, but more attackers close in. The rest of the angels arrive just in time to support them. Mal, Suk, and Doni volunteer to hold the demons back, while the others try to get Gumsoon out.
여기 돈이랑 제가 맡을게요.
맞구나.
The fight turns brutal. Mal, Suk, and Doni are beaten badly, and soon the rest of the group is trapped with Gumsoon. At the same time, Salmon leads another wave of spirits to strike at Mir and bang Wool back at the house. A flashback takes us to the day Taisan and the angels once saved Gumsoon's mother from debt collectors. Afterward, they enjoyed food at her stall, where Taisan pretended he only helped for convenience. In truth, he was moved by her gratitude. Gumsoon praised him openly, lifting his spirits.
아니야. 내가 아줌마를 도우려고 그런 건 아니고 이 땅이 내 땅이라서 그런.
The angels were surprised to see Taisan reconnect with humans and even give more money than needed before leaving. To young Gumsoon, he appeared larger than life, a hero walking among ordinary people.